Can you talk about our relationships?
The stress hormone cortisol actually leaks out of our skin through our sweat, and particles of cortisol hang around in the atmosphere around us. So cortisol is a steroid hormone. So like other steroid hormones like estrogen and progesterone, women who live together or work closely together will synchronize their menstrual cycles within 2 months. That's how much our hormones affect each other. Now, with cortisol, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, but if somebody is stressed, particularly if they're repressing it, so their cortisol levels are high and it's not being expressed by speaking or exercising, then that literally drifts into the atmosphere and goes through your skin into your blood and artificially raises your cortisol levels. So stress is contagious. Hormonally, we affect each other, particularly women, as long as we spend enough time together. And then there's the social aspect of what becomes acceptable to you in terms of how people are conducting their lives.
You mentioned cortisol a few times. Is that the missing equation, or hormones in general, as we look to link science with the law of attraction? It seems to be playing a role here.
It's playing a negative role.
Yes.
Yeah. And so oxytocin is the hormone that we would like to have more of. They're basically in a balance, like a seesaw. So, you can either reduce your cortisol or increase your oxytocin, or both. Oxytocin, unfortunately, doesn't linger in the atmosphere. So that one is increased by physical touch, physical affection, bathing in warm water. So, and, it aligns with the emotions of love, trust, joy, and excitement. So we need to be existing in that emotional state more of the time, and getting enough hugs and spending time with people that we love to be trying to, increase the levels of that hormone.
And so if oxytocin plays a significant role in the law of attraction, and it sounds like oxytocin is largely boosted by human connection and touch, seems like the loneliest epidemic we're experiencing is at odds with our law of attraction goals.
Totally. I just got goosebumps when you said that. So, I didn't particularly want to come on to this podcast and talk about the pandemic, but the impact that that's had on us physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually has led to me hearing a much larger number of people saying, I literally do not even know what to put on my vision board. And to be honest, for the first time in my life, I have felt a little bit like that myself this year. And on my podcast, Reinvent Yourself with Dr. Tara, there's an episode with the American actress and comedian Beth Bears, where she shares that she had been feeling like that since, pretty much during the pandemic. So, yeah, I'm very, very worried for people about the longer term consequences that we don't know yet of that chronic stress that we've been through, which nobody that's living now has ever been through anything like that before. So I think it's really important, given that it's, January 2023 episode, to say that it's maybe not a time for people to put too much pressure on themselves and, try to create these really big goals. And actually, I'm quite a fan of picking 2 or 3 really small habits to change each quarter of the year. And I found that when I did that a few years ago, at the end of the year, I had 10 new little habits that were just completely things that I did without, thinking about it. And so you're just making me think, as I'm speaking out loud, that maybe my action board for 2023 is about smaller things and more specific things, whereas mine tend to be quite very metaphorical, very kind of big picture. Maybe it's okay to say, if these 2 or 3 really good things happen next year, then I would feel like I'm getting back to being more abundant, being able to manifest more.